Hey, there we go. I think we're live here. Let's take a look here. Give me a second. Okay, there it is. All right. So just taking a look at a couple of companies that I found kind of interesting here. As far as I'm gonna keep this one short too. I just wanna dig into a couple of companies that have blown up today, and it's a couple of things to just to take a look at as far as if you're interested in any of these types of companies. And so here's a company here that deals with Alzheimer's and Alzheimer's treatments. And so just to kind of take a look at this, shares of SAVA Sciences, ticker SAVA, up 141%, more than double towards a near 10-year high in very active trading Tuesday, after the company focused on neurodegenerative diseases treatments announced upbeat results from a study of its treatments for Alzheimer's disease. The stock shot up 173%, enough to pace all gainers trading on major U.S. exchanges, and to put it on track for the highest close since June 2011. Let's see, basically saying that trading volume spiked up to 38 million shares compared to the normal 3 million shares a day. The company said clinical study funded by National Institutes of Health, 6 months of treatments with stimufilm improved cognition scores by a mean improvement of 10% from baseline with no safety issues. The same patients also saw a mean improvement in dementia-related behavior by 29% from baseline, the company said. Cassava said that it believes the data support advanced simufilm into phase 3 clinical program. We would have been satisfied to show simufilm stabilizes cognition in patients over 6 months, said the chief executive Remy Barbier. And improvement in cognition and behavior tells us this drug candidate has potential to improve lasting treatment effects for people living with Alzheimer's disease. That is awesome. Now, I don't know if there's anyone else who has ever seen a family member or anyone in their life has seen anyone with Alzheimer's. It's a pretty nasty disease. It's kind of crazy. My grandma had it, and she came to my wedding. So I got married. I got married almost, so it was like 6.5 years ago. And back then she showed up, and she was wearing this very strange dress. She was saying really strange things to us, and over a period of she actually died recently on Christmas Day. But it was a pretty nasty disease. She didn't remember me. She didn't remember her kids at times. She didn't remember a lot of like things, and it's kind of like a crazy thing to live in, not remembering anything. But then every once in a while they would kind of come back, and you can see it, like you see the light in their eyes come back when they're kind of with it. It's kind of a really strange thing, but really, I mean, this is awesome. This is really great news. It basically is saying that there's been improvements from baseline on the drug that they're using to help people with Alzheimer's. This is wonderful. This is wonderful news. And so, yeah, I mean, it looks like, let's pull up what's the ticker again? SAVA. Well, last 5 days, boom, they blew up. went from 22 a share up to 71 and currently sitting at 55. There was a little bit of a pullback after hours, I assume. Let's take a look at here. Yeah, wow. After hours, they're still blowing up. So here's actually... So after hours, they're up 13% still. And for the day, it was up 141%. Pretty crazy stuff. Here's another one I wanted to look at just to show you guys. Is this one. So you take a look for the week here. You know, trading at $10 and then boom, they blew up and are currently sitting at $17. And yesterday they were at $10. So they're up quite a bit here. Let's take a look into Market Watch to see what they have to say about HOL. See if they have any news on it. Yeah, there's no news from these guys as of yet. Let's see if there's any other news that we can see. We can read and figure out why they're blowing up. Okay, here we go. Why Holicity stock soared more than 40% today. Holicity shares took off like a rocket on Tuesday after it announced plans to merge with private space company Astra. The stock had jumped almost 50% before settling back down. Yeah, it looks like it pulled off a little bit. Shares soared after the blank check company said it will merge with the rocket maker. Astra offers space launch and satellite delivery services and the fastest private company in history to achieve orbital launch capabilities, the company said in a statement. So it's just hype over a merger. I'm sure there was a lot of money involved. Let's take a look at here. Deal will result in the company having enterprise value of about 2.1 billion. Wow, Astra has already signed deals for 50 launches and booked more than 150 million in contracted launch revenue. It will start delivering customer payloads in summer of 2021. Wow, that's crazy. Transaction for initial Holicity shares. Company about 3 times estimated, 2015 adjusted. Investors jumping in today should realize that this valuation was based on a $10 per share for Holicity, and their valuations accordingly at current prices. So it's kind of so it sounds like this is just hype over like the merger and like people being excited about what Astra would be able to do with the extra enterprise money. That's quite a lot of money that they're bringing to the table. So I'm sure, you know, there's some pretty cool stuff. But let's look into Astra's. What the heck is Astra? I really don't know anything about it. Astra. Let's just type this in. Oh, so it's just satellites. Astra is becoming a publicly traded company to accelerate our journey to make low Earth orbit the next frontier for human innovation, enabling a new generation of space services with frequent, reliable, and affordable launches. Oh, so it's basically taking people to space. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, yeah, that's actually pretty exciting. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, well, yeah, that's pretty neat stuff. Well, let's keep digging here. So there's some news there. So another stock that's blown up. And here's what I'm doing right now, to be honest, just to kind of take a look at, you know, what's going on as far as stocks. What I do is I'm looking at Google Trends, and I'm looking at like investments and what people are looking at right now. And so it's kind of just interesting to see what everyone else is looking up, and then just talk about it. You know, it's kind of interesting to review and you know, take a look at. And so let me see here. So let's take a look at one more, and then I'm gonna shut it down. I'm gonna go to bed. It's a little late for me. So SLS. Let's take a look at SLS stock. Yeah, these guys have blown up today too. So they started out that, so they've been trending at like $6, and they went all the way up to $13. Just taking a look at the companies themselves. So into SLS Life Services or Life Sciences. So it looks like they've entered a phase 3 of treating leukemia. Let's read some of the news here on it. SLS Life Sciences Group, a late-stage clinical biopharmaceutical company focused on development of novel cancer immunotherapies for a broad range of cancer indications. Today, it highlights its business and clinical progress in 2020 and expected 2021 milestones. So 2020 was a transformative year for the SLS as we commenced the pivotal phase 3 REGAL study of GPS in patients with AML, the leukemias, who have achieved complete remission after second-line anti-leukemic therapy in the United States and Europe, and also announced important clinical data in the same patient cohort from our complete phase 2 study, showing a median overall survival of 21 months versus 5.4 months. Wow. So they're extending people's survival rates by, that's a lot. Just that's awesome. Giving people almost 2 extra years compared to less than 6 months. And that's just like the beginning of this too. You know, that's a cool thing, is once they start to find something that works, it kind of like compounds, and they start to find like other things that work alongside of these drugs to help like increase the survival rate. This stuff is awesome. There's a lot of breakthroughs when it comes to the health industry right here tonight. It's kind of awesome to see this stuff. For the p-value, let's see, we are also intrigued by the recent announcement. Initial data from 2 studies of GPS in combination with checkpoint inhibitors in ovarian and malignant pleural mesothelioma indicators, as we look forward to providing further data from these studies in the first half of 2021. We were also pleased to present last month. Okay. Yeah, they're just talking about other phases of different Story continues. Let's see here. All right, yeah, this is more of this stuff. Essentially, they're just talking about that. Wow, they came out with so phase 3. How many phases are there in? How many phases are in drug testing? So there's 4 phases according to the FDA. So essentially, they've started phase 3 and they've seen a lot of success with it. And so that's the reason why they've blown up. What was their ticker again? SLS. Let's take a look at this. And so, I mean, if any of you guys are wondering, you know, these are the kind of things that I do when it comes to looking for new stocks or for companies to invest in. It's always a good thing to like take a look at the news. Sometimes I take a look at what's trending to see if it's a company I want to do more. If I want to do more research on to put my money into. And so these things are good habits to take a look at if you're interested in investing and into looking at getting something potentially early. This is just a portion of what I do with my investments, as far as I don't necessarily throw all my money at it, but there's a portion of my investments, and I can get into this later in another video, but essentially what I do is I take a certain percentage of my overall portfolio and I put that in of speculative money that I allocate towards speculative stocks and hopefully grow them. And so that's kind of what I'm doing right now, is taking a look to see if there's any of these companies that I'm interested in getting behind. This Astra definitely sounds very interesting and awesome news. You know, that stuff's pretty awesome. And so essentially just taking a look at these things, you know, SLS looks like it's pretty awesome. And so, yeah, anyway, well, I'm just, I'm going to log out now. I'm pretty tired. I'm ready for bed. But, if you guys found any of this information interesting or wanted to learn more, you know, leave a comment below, hit the like button, subscribe. I'd very much appreciate that. And, thank you guys a ton. Appreciate it. Have a good night.